I'm I'm liking this whole posting videos to YouTube thing. It's a different audience than my Tumblr. Uh a lot more confused people. Um but then there's also people who are like, "Oh my god. You you're just like me. You're the most relatable person ever. How did I find you?" And I'm just like, I've just been blogging on Tumblr, been being myself with no restrictions, unashamed, and I just don't think Tumblr should be the only place I can do that. So every website is everything is Tumblr to me. The other day I got a it might have been yesterday, maybe the day before that. Someone just popped in my inbox with just no. And I was just like, I don't give a fuck what this could possibly be referring to, but you really shouldn't take time out of your day to tell me no, because it never ends well. You think I give a shit? You think I give two freaking flickety diddle dicks? No. I got bullied by my mother. I got bullied by League of Legends players. I got bullied by theater kids. I got bullied by gays who don't even know how to make Pink not clash. Talk to the hand. You hearing this shit, Dan and Phil? You hearing this? You hearing this shit, Dan and Phil? Messed up. I don't think there's anything wrong with always talking about the same stuff. And like, I'm always talking about the same stuff, but also I'm talking about like a million bajillion things. So like, if you're not interested, just don't listen or ask for a subject change. And you can do that by just changing the subject yourself. If I don't realize that there's an issue, I'm gonna keep on talking, and I'm an oblivious person at times. When I start talking, oh, everything else just and then I end up being loud as fuck. I end up talk. I have talked for like 5 hours straight before, which is why I think I should really get into filibustering. I also cried for 4 hours straight, so you could say I'm just different. I also had a absolutely just traumatic 3 month whatever the hell, them constantly ghosting me and being just an improviser. I mean, I honestly don't mind the people most who I know that are in the improv troupe, but that's because a good chunk of them were in my storytelling troupe last semester. And a lot of the times once I get on stage, I do all this like spontaneous stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're good at improvising." And coming up, like, you came up with that on the spot, and I'm like, no, I sat there and I planned it in my head, and I didn't tell anyone. And I just waited to get up on stage for that live performance where I could just say whatever the hell I wanted. The second night of my lesbian Halloween story, which honestly, I got the video and I was like, oh, the audio isn't the best, and the audience was much more lively at night too. Although I did forget the talking about how a drunk girl thought I looked like Bernie Sanders in the second night. But there was this butch, and when I said, I just think all art is beautiful, they went, that's not true. And I was just like, and then they were like, swastika, that's art. First off, they stole it. And I was like, this is when you walk away. One second, I'm getting my visual. What? Where did it go? Where did... Oh, well, I guess not. I'm not. My jacket. Don't know where my jacket went. Did I lose it? Oh, frick. Oh, God. I have my jacket, and I had wee with me. And I got him up, and I went, you hearing this fucking shit? I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, wee. And they were like, oh, that was like an excellent thing that you just thought of. And I was like, there was someone in my troop's story who I was just bored by. And so when they were performing the entire time, was just taking it to run over my story over and over again in my head. It's explosive, and I kind of don't know what I'm saying, so the trick is, it doesn't matter if I get off the rails, as long as I just keep on going, because then I'll eventually get where I was. And I just made a bunch of random, absolutely entertaining, but also, in the show, when I start talking about, I go, third of all, I think that there's beauty in everything. And when I see someone like Van Gogh, and I look at his art and the way he sees the world, and I go, yeah, he has astigmatism. And everyone had a hootenanny out of that. Maybe that's the right word. Let's see the definition of hootenanny. Yeah, it's a type of improvisational music that incorporates audience members with folk music. So, I mean, I mentioned Buffalo Springfield, so maybe loosely it... I think I said this before, but people get surprised when I say I like improvisational jazz. And when I told this to my choir professor, she said, when I think of you, the word I think of is eclectic. And I was like, if I could describe I have 3 words to describe myself. I know. That's how you know you've reached another level of being able to talk your way out of anything, talk your way into anything, is when you have 3 words to describe yourself. Eclectic, eccentric, and esoteric. I like so many things. I am a personality, an insane person. And I sound like even more of an insane person because if you don't get the references and you don't realize that I'm just making a reference that you don't understand, I may just look like a crazy person. But you have to understand, Sean Spencer is my role model. Destiel, OTP, Kirksbach, OG Mpreg, Gonzo's... That improviser? They tried getting me to have sex with them, by saying, "Why are we even wearing clothes right now?" To which I responded, that's a bit much. If anybody says that to you, run. Mind you, this is with like no ramp up, and why are we even wearing clothes right now? After scrolling on Twitter, one time we were in a square, like, in town, and there's this CBS Atlanta guy, and he was like, it was when Joe Biden was still in the race, and he was saying, I want to get, like, young Democrats opinions on this, and I said something about, I was like, the only reason people are voting for you are because there's no, like, politically, there's no hope for a third party, and it's why Bernie dropped out of the race. And they also said something, but they didn't get put in the news. Me, I was on the news. I was on CBS Atlanta or something of the sort, and the news lady quoted me because I ended it. I was just like, shape up, dude. And she said, shape up, dude. I think that just about says it. I had people hating on me in the comments, being like, what the fuck is this person even talking about? Okay, ignorant.